Hi, I'm Peter Kalmstrom of kalmstrom.com Business Solutions. In this demonstration, I'll show you some Excel features like calculations and pivot charts and data validation and cell formatting and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be using this sheet, as we see here, with the flooring costs for a house that is being remodeled, and they're putting new floors everywhere. And as you see, these are the different flooring materials that have been selected and the costs for each. These costs are of course in dollars, so let's put that in dollars over there. And let's go ahead and start with the width. Those are of course in meters, so I'm gonna format the numbers, and doing that using this format so that I can actually see that it's meters we're talking about. And then I'm going to go ahead and calculate the area. I'm going to do that by multiplying the length with the width, basic geometrics, and that's of course going to be in square meters. So again, I'm going to put another custom format for that. Like that. In this case, I could actually use the decimals like that. And there we have the square meters, and then I'm going to calculate the cost, and that becomes a bit more complex because I'm going to be looking up the material used, the cost for that, and that's going to be a vertical lookup, and it's going to look up the material, and this material is in this table. And to make things simpler, I'm actually going to give this a name first. I'm going to name that cell, or that table there, the array. I'm going to call that floor materials, like that. I'm going to do a lookup here on that. I'm going to look up the material that's used, and I'm going to look that up in the floor materials that I just defined, that name range over there. It's going to be a comma in between there, otherwise it doesn't work, and you see it already highlights that. Beautiful. And then I'm going to pick the third column here, and then I'm going to specify the third column, of course, is this price here, and I'm also going to go say that I want an exact match, no guesses there. Alright, so that gives me that the TG is indeed the hardwood floors, and it's going to be $220 for that. But that's of course for 1 square meters, and I want to calculate the total. So I'm going to multiply the 34.80 square meters by that cost, and that gives me close to $8,000 there. And I don't want to see that with decimals, so I'm going to decrease those, and then I'm going to fill down here. And now I'm just going to do some sums. So I'm going to summarize this range here, the sum of D2 to D14, and that's of course going to be square meters also. And going to widen that a bit, and then auto sum of that, and then we have the total cost there, and I want to have dollars for that too. Now the final step that I want to do is show you a pivot chart based on this, so I can actually get some nice overview here. And let's start with another thing. Let's start with the material here. If I input blue here or something, whatever, you see I get the not available value there, which is bad. So I want to make sure that we only select materials that are actually in this list here. So I'm going to do that by first I'm going to regret this, and so I'm back in TJ, and I'm going to say that all these cells, they can't have any value. They should have the data validation rule that allow only those from this list over here. These ones, these are the available ones. Okay? And as you see now, I get a drop down there where I can select that I want TP instead, which is carpet tile, or KK, which is clinker. And that's of course much simpler. You can still actually do it wrong here, but you get an error message, so you probably won't do the wrong thing many times there. You'll find it simpler to do the right thing. So that's the data validation. And finally, I want to create a pivot chart based on all this. So I'm going to select all the data that I have here and insert a pivot chart over there. And it's going to be that values, those values there. And then I'm going to place those right there. It's a nice place for it. And now I'm going to select the chart, or I'm going to select the data that I want. I want to see the costs as values, and I want to change the design on this. I want to change to another chart type, and of course I want the pie here. It's very nice, but of course, well, yeah, it's a lot of data, but I want to see that per material. So there I see the different types of materials being used. So I'm going to place that over there. I don't want to see this right now because I'm done with that. And then I can go ahead and make sure that it fits everywhere there. Yep, that's rather nice. Then I can go ahead and experiment with the design a bit here. I have some different values here and colors, and that's a rather nice one. So that concludes my demonstration on the flooring costs. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.